Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen News Extra. There were a lot of things that happened this week. There were changes for CCUs, a Viral Eclipse video, and some more info given by devs. This sort of stuff doesn't fit into our normal news show, so I do random ones like this during the weeks. So let's talk about some more Eclipse teasers. The Aegis Eclipse had a viral video released about it on the Star Citizen YouTube, then quickly taken down, the sneaky hobbitses, after it was seeded on the Reddits. The concept sale starts this Friday at 19th of May. It's $275 for a ship, which is a lot of money, and that's if you purchase it with store credit, though there will be bundles, I'm sure, and discounts available too for war bonds and that sort of stuff. We've had some keywords about the ship: Black Ops, Space Superiority, Military, Bomber Command, Secret Bomber, Top Secret, but to me it looks like a stealth fighter bomber hybrid, possibly as a replacement to the Retaliator. I say replacement as an alternative to the Retaliator, like their new high-end bomber. What do you think? Tell me what you think. CCUs, changes to changes. CIG has decided to reforge its plans on the recent CCU changes that it proposed, after a lot of feedback against those changes. CIG wants to alleviate problems and exploits the hoarding of cross-chassis upgrades or ship upgrades, or otherwise known as CCUs. There have been proposed changes to the CCU system, but a large amount of backers got quite vocal and about not wanting to have the base price of CCUs at $5. So if you ever changed a ship, it would cost at least $5 plus the value of the ship. This was to eliminate the $0 CCUs, basically. But some players were stocking up on CCUs and upgrades, so they could repeatedly change their ship back and forth between hulls. So you could change from like a Super Hornet to a Gladiator and back and forth constantly. This led to over 1 million unused CCU $0 CCUs. They want to address that issue, plug future exploits, and get their system a lot cleaner, basically. So the new changes will phase out $0 CCUs over time, hopefully without impacting the benefits of the CCU and melting systems. They are eliminating those $0 CCUs from concept sales, starting with this one, the Eclipse one, on the Friday 19th of May. If you have a ship of equivalent value that you want to use store credit to purchase a ship, for example, the Aegis Eclipse here, you'd melt your ship and then purchase the Aegis Eclipse with the store credits. This should greatly reduce stockpiling of CCUs now and in the future. In the longer term, they want to have a process where they basically expire unused $0 CCUs from their system. They want CCUs to be used as intended, to pick a ship that works for you, and then not freely change your ship constantly with basically a free CCU token. This will not happen immediately, but as they approach 3.0, it's going to be an important part of that process. So in the future, your $0 CCUs will expire. This won't affect a lot of backers at all, but will affect some. Others, you're just going to have to melt your old ship and then buy a new one if you wanted to change rather than upgrade. Just remember, if you have a $0 CCU to pick the hull you're kind of most comfortable with, and that's the intention of the system. This is them letting us know in advance that $0 CCUs will be removed eventually. Remember, the reason you'd upgrade over melt would be to keep some of the contents of your package. So when you upgrade a ship, you'd upgrade the hull. So if you went from a Super Hornet, you would keep anything that was on that package if it had lifetime insurance, if it had hangar flare, if it came with something else like a specialist gun or something, then you would keep that while upgrading the hull of your ship to whatever you wanted. If it only had 6 months insurance, even upgrading during a concept sale wouldn't give you lifetime insurance. It would only give you that 6 months to the new ship hull. So just bear that in mind. Some other stuff that the devs were talking about. So graphics API stuff. Star Citizen is planning to phase out DirectX to support Vulkan. This will allow for a focus on one graphics API, which is Vulkan, and also support multiple operating systems. People won't have to upgrade to Windows 10 and that sort of stuff. With Vulkan, there should be improvements to multi-threading as well, allowing for more performance. How much remains to be seen, though, exactly performance-wise, but we're going to have more and more optimization for the game as the patches roll out. Star Citizen currently is extremely unoptimized on pretty much every level, but as the patches roll out, more and more optimization. There was some more info on the cargo system and how it's going to work. Objects don't have to be in a container to be fastened to the the cargo bay. If you place an item on the floor within the cargo area, it's not a loose object. If you place guns into a crate and then left them in a hallway, it would be a loose object. You can put, basically the idea here is that items need to be in the right area to be secure, not placed anywhere else. If you place random things or even secure crates in a hallway, not in a cargo area, they have the potential to damage your ship, be damaged themselves, get knocked around, injure people, that sort of stuff. You want to put all your crates, all your valuables that you're planning to sell in correct areas. And when I say correct areas, it doesn't necessarily have to be that cargo area. The expectation is to have items just stored in correct areas, so including gun racks, locker inventories, and all these inventories and the cargo will then be appearing on your cargo manifest to buy, sell, and manage easily. Some more rounded info about object container setup and streaming. So object containers are a replacement for the CryEngine's prefabs, but have a lot more uses and functionality. In Alpha 3.0, they're going to be completely replacing the old levels that we had with the Mega Map, which basically is the base functionality for where object containers will be able to be placed in. 3.0 will have all the setup necessary for functionality of object container streaming. Starting with Alpha 3.1 and 3.2 is when we're going to actually see them using that streaming for performance gains and for its intended uses, which is getting rid of and destroying assets effectively outside of the area that you need them, and streaming in assets that you need in the area for better performance, high fidelity, just using your system resources efficiently, and allowing for the seamless nature that Star Citizen wants in the future. Super AIs! So Star Citizen wanted players to pilot their own ships and for it to be an interactive experience. So a lot of what would probably be automated by AIs in the future is a hands-on experience in Star Citizen. Otherwise there would be a lot less gameplay to actually do, and auto-firing turrets, and no real need for players to actually fly spaceships. Smart AI in the game's lore, so this isn't a lore thing, is like met with failures when scientists try and develop it. Ironically, Star Citizen will have quite a smart, fleshed out AI for its NPCs and game mechanics. Atmosphere. So, planetary entries can be dangerous. Atmospheric entry can be dangerous. Speed, angle, elevation, shields, and hull are all important considerations. Some ships won't be able to get up and down between atmosphere and orbit and stuff by themselves, and some will get damaged and destroyed, and if they try. We will see some data like elevation once we're in atmosphere of a moon or a planet as well, that will appear on our dashboard, as it were. Atmospheric flight will affect ships differently. Some will be better than others in atmosphere. Gravity in atmosphere will also be a factor, but probably not relevant in 3.0. And that's kind of it. I just wanted to reiterate those things that were said. Some of them were just kind of more rounded ways of the devs explaining stuff. Every month we have a giveaway. For May, it's an Avenger Titan. We give away a ship for Star Citizen. All you need to do is to be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my Star Citizen videos during that given month. My next video is going to be about the interaction system. So item system 2.0 functionality, exactly the ergonomics of this new interaction system for players, picking up objects, all the new grabby hand stuff, and what we're getting from 3.0 to 3.2 alpha. So do you have any questions about those topics at all, or anything that we talked about in this video? Do you have any questions for me or about Star Citizen's development? A special thank you to my Patreons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. If you're interested in becoming one of them, then look at the link below. Patreons. Everything else we've talked about as well is all linked below as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the verse.